Hello guys, welcome back to Patrones Mujer. I'll be sharing with you a tutorial on how to make the dress you are seeing in the picture. You can find this pattern on the magazine Patrones Infantiles number 16, and we have other great content that is to come, so hit that bell and let's get started. We'll take pen and paper to write down the materials. Once we have the pattern dressing from the magazine, we cut along the sideline that we'll make. These are finished pattern, which means they have 1 cm seam, hems, and cut with notches and red lines. Okay, let's check the pieces. So we have the collar, we've used the collar, these are the pieces from the back, and we've used the center back. These also the pieces from the back, and we've used it. And we overlock on the sides. These are the pieces from the front, and this is the ruffle piece, we fold in half, and this is the sleeve, and we overlock the sides, the elastic and the lining. We're going to start with the ruffle piece. We're going to sew the sides, and then we're going to gather the piece. Then we're going to gather the front and back pieces on the top. These are the top pieces. We face the rights, and we're going to close on the shoulders. Okay, on the machine, this is a ruffle piece. We fold in half, we face the rights, and we pass a stitch on the side. We turn the piece, and then we make the other side. Now we need to gather the piece, so we pass a stitch to all along on the piece, and parallel to the first one stitch we have to make another stitch, and then we have to pull the thread from the spool for get together. The back piece, we need to gather the piece, so we pass a stitch, and parallel to the first one we pass another one, and then we pull the thread from the spool. We need to pass the stitch until the notch. This is the front piece, and also we need to gather the piece, so we pass a stitch, and parallel to the first one we pass another one, and then we pull the thread from the spool for get together. These are the pieces from the front and back. We face the rights, and we sew them on the shoulders. But first we need to overlock the shoulders separately. This is the collar. We need to place the ruffle piece around on the collar, so we have to match the center front, and you have to spray the gather all around on the collar. Now we have to take the other piece of the collar, we place on top, and we have to face the rights of the fabric, and we have to pin it. We need to hold the ruffle piece with the collar, so we pass a stitch all around, and remember to facing up the gather because we don't want to get the foot entangled. Place on top the other piece of the color, face the right of the fabric and sew them around of the color. Cut the excess of the fabric around on the collar. And then turn the piece. These are the pieces from the top, and we have to join the bottom pieces with the top pieces. So these are the pieces from the back. We place the back piece, we have to match the sides and the center back, and also with the front. We have to match the notch of the center front and the sides. We're going to close the sides, but first remember you have to overlock the sides separately. Place the collar, match the center front and pin it. And you have to match also the shoulders, and the collar is until the bottom tape. These are the back pieces. We place the pieces, we face the right, and we sew them. And place the other piece, we have to face the right and sew them. This is the back piece. This is the other back piece. Face the right and sew them on the sides. Sew the other side. Place the collar and sew them. You have to match the shoulders and the center front. With the lining, we're going to make the same process as we made for the main fabric. We have to gather the piece, so we pass a stitch in parallel to the first one, we pass another one, and then we pull the thread from the spool for get together. Join the front pieces, match the center front, and spray together. along on the pieces. Then we have to also join the back pieces, so we spread together along on the pieces, and then we're going to sew on the sides and the shoulders. Face the rights and sew them along on the piece. This is the side. We face the rights and we close on the sides. Close the shoulders. We have to fold 1 centimeter and another one, and we pass a stitch along on the hem, and then we have to press with the iron. Now we have to join the lining with the main fabric, but in this case we're going to face the backs of the fabrics, and we're going to join the lining around of the neckline and the center back. Now we're going to place the bias around of the neckline, so we fold the bottom tape, we face the rights of the bottom tape, and we place on top the bias all around on the neckline. We need to hold the lining with the main fabric, so remember you have to face the backs of the fabrics, the lining and the main fabric, and match the neckline and pass a stitch around on the neckline. This is the armhole, also we need to hold, so we match the sides and we sew them. This is the button tape. We fold the button tape, face the rights, and place on top the bias and pass a stitch all around on the bias and the neckline. Cut the excess of the fabric around on the neckline. Snip the curves. Fold the bias and pass a stitch on the edge of the bias. Turn the button tape, pull the corners, and now we need to close the bias. So we start from the button tape, we pull the bias inside of the garment and pass a stitch on the other edge of the bias. Now we need to mark where is going the elastic around on the cuff, and you will find the measure on the pattern. Fold the sleeve in half and pin it on the sides. Then we're going to make the hem around on the cuff. We have to fold ½ centimeter and another ½ centimeter, and we're going to pass a stitch around. This is the cuff. We fold in half centimeter and ½ centimeter again, and we pass a stitch around on the cuff. Place the elastic and pull the elastic for past the stitch. We need to gather a little bit on the head of the sleeve because we need to match the sleeve with the garment, and we pass a stitch and we pull the thread from the spool for get the gather. Now place the sleeve, match the head of the sleeve with the shoulder and the side, and remember you have to match the notches and pin it. Now we fold the button tape on the back and we're going to pass a stitch on it. Fold the hem and we're going to pass a stitch on it. We place the sleeve, we start sewing from the side and go all around on the sleeve. Then we have to overlock the armhole. We need to make the hem of the dress, so we fold the button tape, we face the rights, and we pass a stitch on it. Then we have to cut the corner and a little bit the fabric there. Then we're going to fold the hem and pass a stitch along of the hem. This is the other side of the button tape. Also, we fold in half and we pass a stitch on it, cut the corners and the fabric a little bit. Overlock the hem and press with the iron the hem, and we pass a stitch along on the hem. And we have finished our dress. We place a lace on the front, we press with the iron the hem and the cuffs of the sleeve. We made the button hole on the button tape of the back and we place the buttons. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more tutorials. You will find the magazine in Amazon as Patrones Mujer. Thank you guys for watching the video.